Absolutely disgusting. There are federal judges who are enabling this type of misconduct. We want to identify the illegals and get them out. If Trump could have been doing this unimpeded from day one, this literally could have been avoided. Miller, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff and the leading architect, laid into top immigration officials. Oh, would have loved to have been live streaming that meeting. Definitely have popcorn for that one.
I have my own belonging fund. We can give housing, food, and pre-medical care in ICE detention. And that's exactly what we're going to do in Nashville. We're going to flood the zone with agents, multi-agency, FBI, DEA, ICE, U.S. Marshals, and we're going to flood the zone.
Stephen Miller in the White House, not playing around anymore, saying it's time to supercharge the illegal alien arrests and deportations, which sounds good to us because we're pretty sick and tired of illegals killing people in America. I've been tired of it for 39 years now and longer than that for all of us. But Bill Melugin shared this. Here are mugshots of two illegal alien Venezuelans who killed this nice, beautiful young woman who was a U.S. Air Force cadet. Just happened this past weekend. Pretty shocking. Bill Melugin shared a mugshot has been released for these two murderers, charged in a fatal jet ski hit and run of an 18-year-old U.S. Air Force cadet candidate called Ava Moore in Texas on Sunday. May she rest in peace and God bless her family. Police say 21-year-old Dakerlin Alejandra Gonzalez struck Moore with her jet ski, then fled the scene in a vehicle with another Venezuelan illegal alien, 21-year-old Michael Coelho Perozzo, and they hit another car while they were fleeing around. Both have now been arrested by Texas authorities and they're being prosecuted. Absolutely disgusting. There are federal judges who are enabling this type of misconduct. We want to identify the illegals and get them out. If Trump could have been doing this unimpeded from day one, this literally could have been avoided. I don't know if it would have been avoided. I don't know if these two people would have been rounded up and deported or not, but this woman could still be alive with us here and could have been an amazing Air Force pilot at some day in our future. Not anymore, because judges like Brian Murphy from Massachusetts, Paula Zenas from Maryland, Judge Boasberg in DC, and the rest of them are perfectly okay with this happening. And Amy Coney Barrett and John Roberts are enabling this by refusing to act. They've got blood on their hands if this continues. And maybe they do now because they can allow us to stop this from happening. Here is what is coming next from Ken Paxton. He says, we've arrested an illegal for killing Ava Moore and another illegal connected to her death. And my office is going to continue with local, state, and national law enforcement partners to secure justice for this young woman. Saying Paxton has announced the arrest of an illegal alien suspected of killing a woman kayaking on Lake Grapevine over the weekend, out just getting a workout in, and another illegal who helped her flee the scene of the crime. On Sunday, an illegal from Venezuela struck and killed an 18-year-old woman with a jet ski, fled the scene with a male illegal alien, subsequently committing another hit and run after striking another vehicle. Paxton's fugitive apprehension unit tracked down, arrested the illegals connected to the crimes. Working with Texas Parks, Wildlife, and more, they got him. Ava Moore's senseless death was caused by an illegal alien who should have never been in our country in the first place. My heart breaks for Ava's family and friends, me too, and my prayers are with them as they face this tragedy. My office will continue to work with local, state, and national law enforcement partners to secure justice for Ava. Signed here by Ken Paxton. We're very tired of all this crap going on constantly. Stephen Miller leading the way, saying, all right, in a tense meeting last week, Stephen Miller and Kristi Noem, they sat everybody down. They said, hey, listen up. It's time to supercharge this game. We want 3,000 people a day arrested. Get out there and do it. The new target is triple the number of the daily arrests that agents were making in the early days of Trump's term. And it suggests that the president's top immigration officials are full steam ahead in pushing for mass deportations. The increased pressure on agents comes as border crossings have plummeted. Thank God. It also comes as the president is now using heavy-handed tactics. What do you mean, enforcing the law? Get out of here. Miller, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff and the leading architect, laid into top immigration officials. Oh, I would have loved to have been live streaming that meeting. Definitely have popcorn for that one. According to 4 people familiar with the meeting, Miller demanded that field office directors and special agents in charge get arrest and deportation numbers up as much as possible, pointing to the wave of unauthorized immigrants who were entering the United States back during Biden. We got to go, baby. We got to go fast. I mean, there's a good argument that the game is already over. You know, if you let let in 20 to 30 million people over 4 years. They'll have babies. Demographics is destiny. Let's say the 14th Amendment citizenship is interpreted erroneously by our corrupt Supreme Court. All you got to do is wait a couple generations, right? And the whole fabric of the country shifts by design. So the idea is you got to deport the illegals or else our country will be gifted to the generation of illegal aliens and not gifted to your children as citizens. Noam took a milder approach, though, is pushing for more arrest, is soliciting feedback from ICE leaders. Special government employee Corey Lewandowski also spoke. Sounds like a great meeting. Miller's directive and tone had people leaving the meeting feeling their jobs could be in jeopardy if the new targets aren't reached. Yeah, get to work. Two of the sources said. A third person said Miller was trying to motivate people with a harsh tone. He was doing the Stephen Miller thing. Says it's not the first time that Miller has yelled at senior officials about this. Immigration officers have almost 49,000 people in custody, significantly more in detention than what Congress has appropriated funding to accommodate, right? So that's why they don't want them deported. If you deport them, then you'll free up space here to fill it with more people. So you got to, it's like you want to plug the leak of the illegals if you're the Democratic Party. Trump is carrying out flights. Border area deportations are lower because fewer migrants are coming across. Capitol Hill Republicans are trying to find $147 billion to help this, working on providing more money to ramp up deportations. Gosh, I think about that. If they just wouldn't have let him in, we would have a real country and not have to spend money to care for all of the illegals, but then also pay to remove them out. Just secure it the first time. It's like so sick what they did to us. In the meantime, Homeland and ICE have begun posting official requests for additional staffing, bed space, and resources, including in New Jersey, saying we're keeping Trump's promise, we're going to deport people, and we're going to go fast. Advocates have warned that if ICE gets more money and resources, more Americans and legal immigrants will be wrongfully detained and possibly deported. Yeah, I'm sure, because there's an epidemic of that. Trump and VP Vance have made clear they want to run the largest deportation operation in the country's history, 1 million a year, which is a good start. So that is happening. Tom Homan was asked about this on with Fox News and Laura Ingraham, and here is what the Borders Czar had to say.
AOC went on social media saying if we put a finger on any of our co-workers, the Congress people that were at our Newark facility, there'd be consequences. Well, guess what? We did it. I'm waiting on the consequences. But, the mayor's no different. I've said from day one, you can not cooperate with ICE if that's what you want to do, but you can't get in our way and you can't impede our efforts, or you cross that line, we'll seek prosecution. As far as the belonging fund that he's supporting, I have my own belonging fund. We can give housing, food, and free medical care in ICE detention. And that's exactly what we're going to do in Nashville. We're going to flood the zone with agents, multi-agency, FBI, DEA, ICE, U.S. Marshals, and we're going to flood the zone.
Get them all. We're tired of having our citizens murdered when they're kayaking on skis, by jet skis, driven by illegal aliens who then flee the sea and hit other people on the way out. So the surge is underway. We're happy to see it. Time to supercharge these deportations. Get those numbers up.